We have some major breaking news as it has been announced that Denny Hamlin has signed a multi-year contract extension with Joe Gibbs Racing through the 2027 season. What's going on, guys? It's Daniel and welcome back to the video. As I just said a second ago, we got some pretty massive major breaking news as it has been officially announced and confirmed that Denny Hamlin has signed a multi-year contract extension with Joe Gibbs Racing and will return to Joe Gibbs Racing in 2025. Here's a statement from Joe Gibbs Racing earlier today. Joe Gibbs Racing announced today that Denny Hamlin has signed a multi-year contract extension to continue driving the new organization's number 11 Toyota Camry XSE in the NASCAR Cup Series. Here's what Denny Hamlin said about this. Joe and everyone at JGR are family to me and have done so much for me over the last 20 years. We've had a solid start to the season, and we have been able to welcome some great new partners this year, so there are a lot of exciting things happening for our team, not only now, but also during the future. Here's what Joe Gibbs said about having Denny Hamlin return to the program next year. I really appreciate Denny, everything he has meant to our organization. It's just really special when you think about everything we've experienced over the past 20 years, from the first moment when JD recognized his talent at a test session until now. It is remarkable in any sport to compete at the level Denny has for this long, and we are thrilled he has been able to spend his entire career with us. There obviously was talk that Denny Hamlin was going to return to Joe Gibbs Racing in 2026, but I thought there would be a potential possibility that 2026 was going to be his final year. But I am thrilled to see that Denny Hamlin has signed a multi-year contract extension with this team. Denny Hamlin has been so good for the last 20 years. You think about this, not a lot of drivers when they get up to their mid-40s now to even their early 50s at this point, when they get up to that older age, they're not performing at the top of their level. But Denny Hamlin right now is performing at the top of his game currently at the moment. And you got to think about this too. He had the pressure of not having a sponsor come into the season. Yes, he signed Progressive later, but he lost FedEx at the end of last year. He lost his main guy in Chris Gabehart at the end of last year. Chris now working with Ty Gibbs currently at the moment. And he picked up Chris Gale. Now, Chris Gale is not a terrible crew chief, but he really wasn't that great with Ty Gibbs. So far, Chris Gale and Denny Hamlin have worked very well together. Denny Hamlin's won the most races in the NASCAR Cup Series so far with 4 wins, and Denny Hamlin has a really good chance to finally score that first ever championship. And Denny Hamlin's only 2 wins away from tying Kevin Harvick on the all-time win list with 60 career wins, and he's only 5 wins away from getting to 63 career wins. I think it's realistic. While I don't think Denny Hamlin is ever going to reach like Dale Earnhardt's numbers of 76 wins, I think it's realistic that let's say Denny Hamlin continues at the pace that he's going, where he's winning 4 to 5 wins a year. I think it's realistic that Denny Hamlin could have a 70 career wins in NASCAR Cup competition. He may never win a championship, even though I think he's got a really good chance to win it, considering how well he was at Phoenix earlier this year and the pace and speed that 11 team has shown. I think Denny Hamlin's got a really good shot at winning the championship this season. So what are realistic expectations for Denny Hamlin going forward? I think long-term for Denny Hamlin, I think he's going to be really, really strong for at least the next couple of years. I think Denny Hamlin will continue being as good as he's been. We haven't really seen the fall off at all. In fact, I think this year compared to even last year, he's better this year than he was last year. Because last year the team just had a major fall off in the second half of the year. Joe Gibbs Racing did. But it also gives really big stability to Joe Gibbs Racing. Consider you look at the development pipeline that Joe Gibbs Racing has, they really don't have anyone, in my opinion, that's ready for a Cup Series seat at this moment. Williams Walsh has struggled in the NASCAR Xfinity Series this year. Yes, he's starting to improve a little bit, but he has struggled so far this year. Taylor Gray, while he's shown some flashes of brilliance with Jason Ratcliffe as his crew chief, he certainly is not ready for a Cup Series, right? He's only 20 years old currently at the moment. And I think the only guy that might be a potential candidate for the seat is Brent Cruz, because you're not going to get Corey Heim over there, because everyone thinks, well, what about Corey Heim? Well, Corey Heim, in my opinion, I think he's ready for a Cup ride, but he's tied to 2311 Racing currently at the moment, and there's still a lot of unknowns and a lot of uncertainties. And that's the other thing, too. Denny Hamlin has a lot of pressure that's going on with him currently at the moment. He obviously is running the team at 2311. He's part of a lawsuit currently at the moment with 2311 front row in that lawsuit. He just had another child recently. What Denny Hamlin is doing with all this stuff happening, the pressure is not getting to him, and I think it's making him even be better at this point. What Denny Hamlin is doing is phenomenal in his NASCAR career. And I think he's done absolutely an amazing job, and I'm glad to see that he'll be back at least for the next couple years. Those questions have been answered. At least we know he'll be back around for the next couple years, and could Denny Hamlin be around for the next 5 to 10? I think if Denny Hamlin continues at the rate he's going right now, what's stopping him from not retiring in 2027? What about maybe coming back in 2028 or 2029? embracing in your 50s. We don't see a lot of drivers get up into their 50s and compete really anymore. Yes, Jimmy Johnson may run a few races next season, but Jimmy Johnson has really not been competitive for a long time. So, and there's very rarely you see someone get up to that age and perform at a very strong level. I think of Kevin Harvick, who won and raced in 2023 at the age of 22, at the age of 47 years old, and Mark Martin, who won at 50, and Harry Gane, who won at 52, but we haven't really seen that much in recent years. So I absolutely think that what Denny Hamlin has been doing is great. Now that transitions to the other side of things. Silly season for next year. Denny Hamlin's name is now officially off the market. With the Joe Gibbs Racing side of things, I believe all 4 drivers have contracts through next season. I believe Christopher Bell signed through 2026, so Bell shouldn't be going anywhere anytime soon. Chase Briscoe technically may be a free agent at the end of next year, but I do expect Briscoe to stick around. Briscoe's really starting to figure it out. This 19 team is having a lot of pace and speed. He could win this week in Indy with how fast the Joe Gibbs Racing cars have been historically at Indy. And Ty Gibbs, while yes, he struggled recently, I do think Ty Gibbs will continue to get better as a driver. He's been showing a lot of improvement in the last 7-8 races with 7 straight top 15 finishes. And I think he's got a good chance and opportunity to win considering how fast he's been at Pocono, a track similar to Indianapolis. I think you'll see Ty Gibbs be really, really good. And he's also been great on the road courses as well. On the other side of things, you got to look at Hendrick Motorsports. Larson and Bowman are both in contract years currently at the moment. I do expect, though, that both are going to sign contract extensions with the team. Yes, I think Bowman is not leaving Hendrick Motorsports despite all the rumors around him. And Kyle Larson is not going anywhere. Larson's been so good with this team. He's probably going to sign a contract extension here in the not-so-distant future. I think it probably will come sometime before the end of this year, in all honesty. Then, of course, you have Kyle Busch, who is only signed through next season. Kyle Busch, I think, could be looking for other options going into 2027. And then Austin Dillon could also retire at the end of next year. He could also stick around in 27, but I also think there's a chance that Austin Dillon may be there. Shaman Gisbergen may be a free agent at the end of next season, but SVG is probably going to get a multi-year extension. We continue doing the playoffs in some way, shape, or form, considering he's been winning a lot of road course races this season. And Ross Chastain, I believe, is also in a contract year next year, but I expect Ross Chastain to sign a multi-year extension with Trackhouse past 2026. I think some of the Penske guys may be in contract years. Austin Cindric is going to be in one. Ryan Blaney might be in a contract year next year, but I'm not sure on that at this point. And then Bubba Wallace, if he stays with 23XI, depending on what happens in the lawsuit, Bubba Wallace more than likely, I think, will stick around with 23XI for the future, but he's got to step up performance just a little bit. And Tyler Reddick is set for a long time, and Herbst will be in a contract year. And if I had to go between Herbst and Heim at this point, I would definitely choose Corey Heim. And then you got to think about some of the lower tier teams. I think Eric Jones is going to be in a contract year next year. Ricky Stenhouse Jr., I believe, also will be in a contract year next year as well with Hayek. So a lot, and Ryan Preece as well, and I think Buescher will be in one. So you got a lot of people that are not officially signed past next season. That could lead to opportunity for someone like a Daniel Suarez. But going back to Denny Hamlin, it's good that he's set for the foreseeable future. He's performing at a very strong level, and I think it made the most sense to keep him in the program, especially everything that's happened to Denny Hamlin in the recent seasons and how good he's been performing. It doesn't shock me or surprise me. I think he will stick around with Joe Gibbs Racing past 2027 more likely at this point. Good to see he'll at least be back with Joe Gibbs Racing in 2026, and I think he'll continue to perform at a really strong level going forward. So that is going to today's special breaking news report on Denny Hamlin returning to Joe Gibbs Racing next season. I want to thank you guys for watching. Please subscribe to the channel, notifications on, so if I win a video, it does go live on my channel. Follow me on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram, and support me on Patreon as well. Let's go to more of that and comment your thoughts below on today's episode. What are thoughts about Denny Hamlin returning to Joe Gibbs Racing next year? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below, and how you think Denny Hamlin will perform over the next couple of years. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Later today, there's still going to be a NASCAR news video. We're going to talk about the Chicagoland rumors, Daniel Suarez with Legacy, Jimmy Johnson potentially coming back as well. We're also going to have the Truck Series race review from the race at IRP depending on the weather. Then, of course, on Saturday, we'll have the Xfinity race review from Indianapolis, and then we also will have, of course, the Cup reactions at Brickyard 400 qualifying. And then on Sunday, we'll have the starting lineup video for the Brickyard 400. We'll also have the Brickyard 400 review and a Shaman Gisbergen video potentially. And then, of course, on Sunday as well, on Monday, we'll have a NASCAR news video to discuss more on this. And also the new Luke Combs song with Dale Jr. and Richard Petty appearing in it. We're going to talk about people like Haley Deegan, Shaman Gisbergen, cards, Kurt Busch, Kyle Busch, Bubba Wallace, Ross Chastain, Kyle Larson, Chase Elliott, Ryan Preece, Sam Mayer, Sheldon Creed, Cletus Afaro, Dodge Ram, Connor Zilish, Junior Motorsports, Daniel Suarez, Tyler Reddick, Noah Gragson, and name it, all the good stuff we'll be talking about on the channel in the coming days and weeks as time goes on. So anyways, like I said, I want to thank you guys for watching today's episode. I'll see you guys next time for more great, awesome NASCAR content, other motorsports content on the channel like this. Take care, everybody.